April 13th, 2021. Gotta try and shovel this out to get to our front door. It's still snowing. It's a little better. Hi there, Prep Plant Girl here. Well, it's April 16th and it's looking more like winter than spring here. It looked more like spring the beginning of March than it does right now. We have had quite a bit of snowfall. There was no snow in my yard a week ago, and now it is piled up. Some of my garden beds are covered in snow. My garlic that was sprouting is covered in snow, and my cold frame has plants in it. So I want to go have a look. I did some things to try and keep it warm because we've been getting down to -7, -9 at night, and some days we're not even warming up above freezing the last few days. So I want to go have a look in there and see if what I did has worked. My little thermometer that I keep in there, the remote thermometer, is saying it's about 20 in there right now. That's the warmest it's been for days. I think before that, because it's been so overcast and snowy, I think the warmest before that was 8 that I've had in there, 8 degrees this past few days. So it's been about 4 days like this. I really just want to have a look and see if things even survived. I don't know. So come on and let's go have a peek in the cold frame and see what's happening. Okay, so I had a small cold frame inside my big cold frame with a harvest guard over top of it, and pull that off. These shelves are where all these plants were up until the night before the snow came. And I've piled up some big bags of soil inside here and on the outside of the greenhouse, as well as bags of leaves, just to try and hold some heat in and kind of be a heat sink of sorts there. And then on the inside of the little cold frame, I actually have a small set of rope lights run in there. They don't give off a lot of heat, but they did give off a little bit of heat. So there you can see the lights there. So it's not much, but it was enough just to take the edge off, I think. And then with the harvest guard on top, that held that little bit of heat in, and then the smaller cold frame just kind of helps keep the wind out, because my large cold frame isn't really airtight, so a lot of wind. It was very windy. A lot of wind was blowing through. You can see I have pots of lettuce, spinach, kohlrabi, kale in the back there, and then I have onions and some snapdragons. And I brought out a couple of things of bunny-tails grass a week and a half or so ago, just to see how it would handle the cold outside, and boy, did it get tested. Looks like it's been just fine there. And then over here I have some sweet peas. I had just put some sweet pea seeds in these tubes here a week and a half ago. They need to be watered, but I can tell they're still moist. And then I still had some potatoes in buckets. I had just moved a couple up from some smaller buckets, so I know there's potatoes in there, but they had some, you can tell the ones on the outer edge there definitely had some frost damage, but it looks like they'll be all right.
The stuff underground will definitely be fine. And then there's some more snapdragons and a little bit of spinach growing there. So overall, it looks like everything handled this cold weather. I mean, it was getting down quite cold outside at night, but let's see how the garden fared. You can see the snow really blew in, came in from the south, which is odd, and blew up against the fence there. And so the beds in the front are actually looking pretty much like they were before this storm came in, with a little bit of snow between them. And then in the back there, I had actually planted peas and carrots experimentally about 2 weeks ago, and then there was garlic up in this bed here. And then this bed here, you may have seen some of my videos. I had planted out some small brassica seedlings. Um, it got just mashed by the snow. So it's pretty heavy. I don't know if anything. They were pretty small seedlings, and weren't looking that great to begin with. So I don't know, with all this snow, if they'll have stood up to that. It's heavy. Let's have a look inside. So I had harvest guard over top, just a single layer over top. And then it's just bug netting under that. And I didn't do anything extra to this bed, knowing the storm was coming. This is just how it was already set up. It was just an experiment to see what these plants could take more than anything else. And there's a little bit of, I believe that's broccoli down the very left there at the back, and a cabbage kind of on the left to the center. There might be a few more things back there. It might be weeds. It's hard to tell from here. And I am pretty sure there was Brussels sprouts and more cabbage at the back there, and I'm pretty sure they'll just be smashed from that snow. But yeah, it's okay. That was just an experiment. I had the seeds. I just thought I'd see what would happen. We'd had such a nice spring. But close that back up. Over here is where the garlic was. I don't know if you can see right at the back right corner there. There was some garlic coming up. There was garlic coming up throughout a lot of this bed, especially around the edges where they warm up a little faster. But it looks, let me get through here. It looks like they didn't even get phased by the snow. I mean, garlic is pretty hardy. You plant it in the fall, and it comes up after that cold weather. So it looks all right. Let's see. Over here is where I'd planted some peas and carrots, just to see. I knew it was really early, but we were having again such a nice spring. I like to try things, and lots of those seeds, and they're cheap. So along that little kind of trellis, I had put some peas, probably about 3-4 days before the storm. So I'm not sure if they would have germinated yet by then, if they're just sitting under there, if they rotted away. But where the snow is heavy, they might be okay, because the snow is actually quite insulating. And since they hadn't actually started to come out of the ground yet, they might be okay. And then under this is just cocoa coir, like liners from hanging baskets that were worn out. I put them over top where I planted the carrots to hold the moisture in the soil. And I was starting to see little sprouts that I think were carrots coming up, just a few, right before this storm hit. And there's one right there. And I think there was another one further back here. Yeah, right back there. I don't know if you probably can't see that, but the other 2 rows, there was 3 rows there. The one in the front I'd planted first, and then I'd planted another one a few days later, another one a few days later. So I don't know, again, how those will do, but peas and carrots are both seeds that can take cool soil, and the soil was at the right temperature to plant them out in when I did it. The snow is really wet, heavy snow, so it's giving my garden some good moisture. So I'm hoping that it'll be all right. Looks kind of sad right now, but definitely some well needed moisture. It's hard to believe there was no snow just a week ago, like absolutely no snow anywhere.
So that was just a quick look at what my garden's looking like these days and the wonky weather we get here on the prairies in Saskatchewan, Canada. So I know some of you are experiencing the same thing I am, and I think some of you got hit even worse than I did. So I'm not going to complain too bad. There's lots of moisture in this snow, and boy, we need the moisture. It's been dry here the last few years, more than normal. So I'm going to try and look at the bright side of this. And I know I'd put things out way earlier than is really safe. So I'm always knowing I'm having that risk when I do that. But it looks like some things maybe survived, at least what I had in the cold frame, and we'll see about the rest, what happens. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.